Apple's release of the 11th generation iPad is one of the most aggressive budget hardware plays the company has made in years. They priced this tablet at a highly accessible $349 and unexpectedly included 128 gigabytes of base storage, exactly double the starting capacity of its predecessor. This pricing deviates from Apple's usual playbook of strictly limiting entry-level specs to force customers into more expensive premium tiers. The catch is buried in the spec sheet. At a time when the tech landscape is shifting heavily towards artificial intelligence, Apple powered this new tablet with the older A16 Bionic chip. That processor choice completely excludes the iPad 11 from running any of the heavily marketed Apple Intelligence software. This creates a very specific dilemma. Are you making a practical financial choice, or are you buying hardware that can't run Apple's future software? To answer that, we have to evaluate the iPad 11 against the devices immediately surrounding it, the older 10th generation iPad and the premium M4-powered iPad Air. This quadrant chart plots exactly where these three devices sit relative to each other. The iPad 11 lands securely in the high-value, low-cost quadrant, while the iPad Air pushes up into the higher power territory. Navigating this lineup requires you to look past Apple's marketing and define exactly which features actually matter for your daily use. The clearest improvement over the previous generation is inside the device, starting with a significant upgrade to the base storage. This comparison matrix lays out the baseline metrics. The iPad 11 secures a win starting at 128 gigabytes of storage, giving you room to save files without relying on cloud subscriptions. However, its A16 Bionic processor falls noticeably short of the iPad Air's powerful M4 chip. The immediate outcome of that processing gap is an absolute zero compatibility rating with Apple Intelligence. You sacrifice native automated writing tools, advanced generative photo editing, and the context-aware next-generation Siri. However, if you step outside the AI ecosystem, the A16 chip remains a very capable piece of hardware for smooth daily multitasking. Looking at performance metrics, the iPad 11 handles mobile gaming with ease, maintaining a steady 60 frames per second on demanding titles like PUBG. When compared to similarly priced Android competitors, Apple's older Silicon still drastically outpaces many budget alternatives on the market today. If cloud-based image generation and automated writing assistants are not critical to your daily workflow, keeping that initial $250 in your pocket outweighs the processing deficit. The physical display of the tablet reveals exactly where Apple made their budget cuts to hit that $349 price point. On the positive side, the 11-inch Liquid Retina display delivers a bright 500 nits of illumination and excellent color accuracy for watching media or reviewing documents. Apple also positioned the front-facing camera along the landscape edge, which is a vastly superior orientation for eye contact during Zoom and FaceTime calls. The primary hardware compromise is the refresh rate. The iPad 11 display is locked to 60 Hz. Compared to the 120 Hz ProMotion displays on Apple's premium devices, you will notice a slight stutter when you scroll rapidly through a long web page or swipe between applications. Beyond the display, the accessory ecosystem introduces a separate financial hurdle that shifts the math of this purchase entirely. This graph shows the true cost to make the iPad 11 a productivity machine. Stacking the base price with a keyboard and pencil rapidly approaches the cost of a powerful iPad Air. Furthermore, the iPad 11 strictly blocks the advanced Apple Pencil Pro. You lose magnetic wireless charging, you sacrifice drawing pressure sensitivity, and miss advanced barrel roll features. The iPad 11 is an excellent standalone tablet, but outfitting it for professional work creates a high cost for accessories that simply lack the capabilities of their Pro counterparts. To make a final decision, we have to look at the massive global consumer base Apple actually designed this device for. Apple designed the iPad 11 as a targeted hardware adjustment, specifically solving the 10th generation's severe 64-gigabyte storage bottleneck. This scorecard provides a framework to match specific user needs to the correct hardware. First, look at the student and family profile, users whose daily tasks consist of reading PDFs, typing in Google Docs, taking Zoom calls, and streaming movies. For these utility tasks, the iPad 11 represents a rare value in the tablet market, providing reliable performance and software support at a fraction of the cost of a Pro model. Moving to the creator and power user profile, digital artists and heavy video editors. Here, the iPad 11 is the wrong choice. Creators should spend the extra money on the iPad Air. M-series hardware is necessary to utilize modern AI pipelines, and access to the Apple Pencil Pro is essential for serious digital art. Finally, we have the upgraders, those holding on to 9th generation or older iPads with failing batteries. The 11th gen offers a cost-effective runway for the next 4 to 5 years, provided you are willing to accept that you won't have access to Apple's AI suite. For 80% of everyday consumers, the iPad 11 delivers reliable tablet utility for just $349. It stands as a logical purchase as long as you refuse to pay a premium for AI features that likely won't impact your daily routine.